Just after dawn, alarms blared aboard the USS Ronald Reagan, shattering the morning calm and sending a jolt of adrenaline through every sailor on deck. The sun was barely above the horizon, casting long shadows across the flight deck as crew members rushed to their stations, hearts pounding with uncertainty. Suddenly, a mayday call crackled over the radio, urgent, panicked, and then abruptly cut short. The chilling silence that followed signaled disaster, leaving everyone on board with a sinking feeling that something had gone terribly wrong. On the radar screens, an F-35C Lightning II, a state-of-the-art stealth fighter, vanished without warning. Just minutes later, an E-2D Hawkeye, the carrier's airborne eyes and ears, disappeared as well. 2 aircraft lost in rapid succession, with no explanation. 2 aircraft, gone in less than 30 minutes. The sky above the carrier was suddenly empty, and the vast ocean below offered only a haunting debris field. Flight operations ground to a halt. Sailors grabbed binoculars, scanning the endless blue for any sign of life, hoping for a parachute, a flare, or even a distant splash. Lifeboats and helicopters launched immediately, racing against time to find survivors. Confusion reigned. Was it a mid-air collision, catastrophic mechanical failure, or something more sinister, perhaps even hostile action? Theories swirled among the crew, but answers were in short supply. This was no routine mishap. It was a full-blown crisis unfolding in one of the world's most contested and volatile waters, with Chinese warships observing every move, their intentions unclear. News of the incident shot from the carrier to the Pentagon and the White House in minutes. Encrypted messages flew back and forth as top officials scrambled to assess the situation and prepare a response. The implications were enormous. 2 of the Navy's most advanced aircraft had vanished near Chinese military assets, raising the stakes for both sides and putting the world on edge. The top priority was clear: rescue the pilots and crew if they were still alive. Every second counted as search and rescue teams sprang into action, braving uncertain waters and mounting tension. But another urgent mission emerged: recover the wreckage before anyone else could. The race was on to secure sensitive technology and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The silence from the missing aircraft was chilling. Radio static filled the air, and the sight of an abandoned helmet bobbing in the waves drove home the gravity of the loss. Every sailor understood the stakes. They were operating on China's doorstep, and now the mission had taken a disastrous turn, with the risk of escalation growing by the minute. The loss of 2 advanced aircraft in quick succession was a body blow to U.S. Navy prestige, shaking morale and raising difficult questions about what had really happened. The day had barely begun, but it was already one of the darkest in recent Pacific memory. Exhausted sailors faced a long, uncertain road ahead. The world was watching, and the margin for error had vanished. Every decision now carried global consequences, and the eyes of allies and adversaries alike were fixed on the unfolding drama. The crisis was only beginning. The next moves would determine not just the fate of the missing crews, but the balance of power in the South China Sea. At precisely 6:15 a.m., the F-35C launched from the carrier deck. It was a routine patrol, clear skies, calm seas, and an experienced pilot at the controls. Everything about the morning suggested business as usual, with the carrier's crew moving through their well-rehearsed motions as the sun rose over the horizon. But just 22 minutes later, the unthinkable happened. The F-35C vanished from radar without warning, leaving only an empty patch of sky over the open ocean. There was no distress call, no emergency beacon, just sudden, total silence. As the crew scrambled to respond, the E-2D Hawkeye, tasked with coordinating the search, was already airborne. Suddenly, it suffered a catastrophic engine failure, its cockpit warning lights flaring to life. The Hawkeye's Mayday transmission was brief and desperate. Within moments, the aircraft spiraled down, plunging into the sea with a violent splash, its fate sealed in seconds. In less than half an hour, 2 aircraft were lost. One a cutting-edge stealth fighter, the other the fleet's vital airborne command post. The carrier deck, once bustling, now felt eerily empty. The carrier strike group was left partially blind and dangerously vulnerable, its eyes and ears in the sky suddenly gone. Tension rippled through the fleet as uncertainty set in. Helicopters scrambled into the air, and search and rescue teams deployed at once. But the search area was vast, stretching for miles in every direction. and time was running out with every passing minute. The top priority was clear: locate the missing F-35C pilot and the 5 Hawkeye crew members before it was too late. Every second counted, and the pressure mounted in the command center. Every minute mattered, not just for the hope of survival, but also to secure the wreckage before it could fall into the wrong hands. Sensitive technology and classified systems were at stake. 2 different aircraft, 2 separate incidents. Yet the timing was too coincidental for comfort. Was it mechanical failure, sabotage, or even a sophisticated cyber attack targeting the fleet's most advanced assets? Every possibility was on the table. The command staff debated scenarios, knowing that any answer could have far-reaching consequences for the entire region. As the search unfolded, a parallel investigation began. Teams of experts combed through every detail, analyzing debris, reviewing flight data, and searching for any clue that could explain the disaster. The double disaster sent shockwaves through the Navy and beyond, raising urgent questions about safety, security, and the risks of operating in contested waters where adversaries might be watching. The Navy now faced a race against time, fighting for both the lives of its crew and the secrets locked within the sunken wreckage. The stakes had never been higher. Overnight, the South China Sea had become a high-stakes chessboard, with every move watched by allies and rivals alike. The world's attention was now fixed on these troubled waters. The most advanced military technology on the planet now lay at the bottom of the ocean, its fate uncertain, its secrets potentially exposed to whoever found it first. The incident's impact rippled far beyond the immediate crisis, drawing in world leaders, triggering military alerts, and setting off urgent meetings in capitals around the globe. The balance of power in the Pacific was suddenly in play, as nations scrambled to respond to a crisis that could reshape the region's future. News of the crashes hit the Pentagon like a thunderclap. 2 aircraft down, 6 missing, in a region bristling with Chinese forces. This was more than a tragedy. It was a strategic crisis. The loss of classified technology and the risk of escalation put the military on high alert. What if China reached the wreckage first? The risk of confrontation was real. Planners scrambled to de-escalate while defending U.S. interests. The F-35C and E-2D are technological cornerstones. Losing both was a nightmare. The Pentagon now faced tough questions about readiness, reliability, and vulnerability, the stakes American power and credibility in the world's most contested region. As rescue teams scoured the vast ocean for any sign of survivors, a second equally urgent race was already underway, recovering the wreckage before anyone else could reach it. The F-35C isn't just any fighter jet. It's a flying vault packed with top-secret technology, from its stealth design to its advanced sensors and highly classified software. Every component is a potential goldmine for adversaries. If China managed to recover the jet first, the consequences could be catastrophic, giving them access to sensitive U.S. military secrets and potentially shifting the balance of power in the region. But the South China Sea is no easy place to search. The depths are treacherous, the seafloor rugged, and the currents unpredictable, making recovery operations incredibly challenging. The U.S. Navy quickly mobilized salvage ships and deployed advanced underwater drones, but even with the latest technology, it would take days for them to reach the crash site and begin the painstaking search. Meanwhile, U.S. warships formed a tight protective cordon around the area, sending clear warnings to all other vessels to stay away and asserting control over the search zone. Tensions escalated as Chinese ships drew closer, each side carefully monitoring the other's every move, knowing that a single misstep could spark a dangerous confrontation. The E-2D's powerful radar and secure communication systems were also at risk. If China gained access, it would be a major strategic loss for the U.S. military. Ultimately, this race was about far more than just recovering hardware. It was about safeguarding the Navy's most closely guarded secrets and protecting the very playbook that underpins U.S. military operations. Beijing's response was swift, offering help but with strategic motives. Official statements were polite, but Chinese media spun the crashes as proof of U.S. decline. Social media exploded with memes mocking the F-35 and U.S. Navy. The propaganda aimed to erode American prestige and sow doubt among U.S. allies. China used the incident to reinforce its territorial claims and justify its military buildup. The narrative: America's presence is destabilizing and its power is fading. In the information war, China seized the moment to shape perceptions. The psychological battle for influence in the Indo-Pacific had intensified. The twin crashes were shocking, but not unprecedented. US-China military encounters in the South China Sea have long been fraught with danger. The 2001 Hainan Island incident saw a US surveillance plane forced down and its crew detained. China gained valuable intelligence, highlighting the risks of operating so close. More recently, near misses and aggressive intercepts have become routine. Each incident tests crisis management and trust, both in short supply. The 2025 crashes, accidental or not, happened against a backdrop of recurring tension. History in the South China Sea is alive, shaping every new crisis. 2 lost aircraft in one morning exposed deeper problems for the US Navy. Years of relentless operations have strained ships, planes, and people. Maintenance backlogs, training cuts, and fatigue have led to a string of accidents. Modern jets like the F-35C require intensive upkeep. Corners cut, risks rise. The Navy now faces a reckoning. Has it prioritized presence over readiness? A force stretched thin is vulnerable, emboldening rivals and worrying allies. The crashes are a warning light for American sea power. Readiness, not just presence, is now the Navy's most urgent challenge. In great power competition, perception is everything. The US Navy has long symbolized American strength and stability. The loss of 2 advanced jets in contested waters shakes that image. Allies now question US reliability. Adversaries sense opportunity. China's propaganda machine amplifies doubts, pushing its own narrative of American decline. To restore credibility, the US must recover its people and technology and show it can learn and adapt. The battle is about influence and legitimacy, not just hardware. The response to crisis will define America's role in the region. The October 2025 crashes mark a turning point in US-China rivalry. The immediate crisis will pass, but the consequences will linger. For the US, it's a wake-up call, forcing hard questions about readiness and strategy. For China, it's a propaganda victory and a boost to military confidence. The risk of miscalculation and conflict is now higher than ever. Both nations must find ways to compete without stumbling into war. The South China Sea remains a flashpoint, demanding robust crisis management. The future depends on whether these giants can avoid disaster in contested waters.